First of all, why don't we go down the line here and everybody introduce themselves and tell us who you are, Eric, and what it is that you do.
Eric Klein, I'm Chief Product Design Architect for Line 6, so Helix and HX stuff are my babies.
Yeah, they are.
Basically, if there's a genius blinking light sign that's going off behind him, yeah.
No, the geniuses just don't want to be on camera, so I get to take all the credit.
Yeah, I don't believe that for a second. But how long have you been at Line 6?
15 years in May, or 16 years in May.
Awesome. Okay, and Brian Wall?
Hey, I'm Brian. I'm with Worship Tutorials. We make lots of presets for Line 6 units, and lots of other content as well.
What Brian said, but I'm Bradford.
I'm Chris Rocha. I'm a traveling musician, producer. I switched to Line 6 back in the day when I had to go on the road basically full time and didn't want to let go of my producing. I wanted to keep my clients keep producing music, so I sold, well, I actually didn't sell anything. I bought a Helix, a MacBook laptop to figure out a way to produce on the road. I'd be in South America recording at 2, 3 in the morning in my hotel rooms. And I couldn't take my Dr. Z2 amp out there, I'd get thrown out of a hotel. So with my Helix, I was producing on the road, doing concerts. So it literally changed my life. I was able to keep all my producing clients and grow that business and tour nonstop.
Awesome. I want to run you through the deck because it gives us a visual cue, and then I want to let these guys do more talking. The thing that I love about the Helix form factor is that, first of all, pretty much ever since I stopped using the HD500X, if I'm playing on Sunday, I'm using Helix, and they're flipping heavy. I'm just going to say it. If you've ever had to go through an airport with one of those on and the Helix backpack, by the way, if you own a Helix and don't own a Helix backpack, do yourself a favor, get the Helix backpack. They're phenomenal. But this, I was on the phone with this guy and I said, it'd be really nice if you guys could do like an MC6 edition for this, and it wasn't happening. He holds up onto the Zoom call. He's like,
Oh, that's right.
So
that was Marcus going, everybody's connecting morning stars. Why don't we just add 5 switches?
and the thing about this, though, if you look at the price point between HX Stomp at $699 and HX Stomp XL at $749. So here's the thing. This is what I want you to leave with. Again, the takeaway is like, what is the form factor that you needed? For the guitar camp, I brought a little boogie head, but I knew I needed effects. I didn't need XL. I just needed something for some great sound in the delay and the reverb that I could run in the loop. I was done. So that's where HX Stomp, that small guy, is really valuable. However, if you're not wanting to lug around something that big and you don't have to play with flipping Phil Collins, this is a brilliant price point. And
What else does all that in that form factor? Nothing. So, I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, and I think Eric won't say this directly, but we will for him. It seems like everybody has copied Helix to try to make it.
I'll say that too.
Oh, you will say that.
You made the graphic.
But Helix, I mean, if you look back on the timeline of modelers, there really was not a floor unit. Fractal had something, but it was not. It was like you looked at a calculator screen to use it. And so Line 6 really paved the way, and still, like, technology is a weird thing. Like your iPhone, you can't install 2 updates after the fact. Like you'll brick your phone, but Helix is still like the best one. I mean, there's lots of reasons to choose a modeler, but it's by far the easiest one to get going. I actually watched Eric show somebody yesterday how to get a whole signal chain up in the Yamaha booth and the Line 6 booth, and it was very loud, and he still got a whole chain going in like 2 minutes. And so, the studio space thing's very real, but the form factor, the scribble strips, the sounds, the community, that's another thing. I think there's a lot of things people don't think about when it comes to utilizing a unit. There's a huge community of people who use it to ask questions on, very, very flexible.
People can reach me directly.
Yeah, that's true. You can
Tag me on Facebook or the Gear page. Or the
I
Gear
just
forum.
will put wrong answers on things on purpose on Facebook, and then
Eric comes running. And
Well,
actually,
No, seriously, if you want an answer fast, have a dummy account, post a question, get on your dummy account and put blatantly the wrong answer.
It's
as
you
the first
guys.
comment. And your comment, your question might drown, but if there's a wrong answer, 1,000,000 people are gonna have to come tell you you're wrong, and they'll give you the right
and
answer.
I'll be first in line.
It's a hack. All right.
Chris, not that I'm just purposely only relegating you to Podgo, but you're kind of one of the big proponents of Podgo and Podgo Wireless. So if you wouldn't mind, this, without my glasses, I can't tell you the value proposition, but I can now. So $5.99 for Podgo Wireless, $4.99. So I will, before I hand it off, if you're cool with it. Are you wireless?
Me?
Yeah.
No,
Bradford,
not anymore.
are you wireless?
No, but I need to be.
Okay, so how many people do wireless Sunday? And how many of you are okay with your sound not sounding great front of house and can't hear that you're not?
That's a leading question.
Just ask me.
We got sound issues every day of the service.
Alright, so the greatest way to know how you sound front of house is to be front of house when you're playing.
Yes.
And wireless
We'll help you.
is the answer. So like I said, I want to provide you something that you could take away. There's going to be a spike in sales, hopefully. So
Or a pre-looper, that also works.
a looper as well. But I actually, the thing is, that works as well. Wise counsel. But I like to kind of, here's the thing, there's something about being there, playing the guitar next to the guy, kind of, or gal, sorry, I've done that twice. And you're kind of like, and you're strumming, and it's silent, right? You're hearing the snare drum, like, triple forte, but there's no guitar. They kind of get the point when you're there, when they look up from texting on their phone, that is. That was a joke, and that's funny. Come on! So the point being is that the great thing about having the wireless is that it's not only checking the level, but also kind of going, is what I'm hearing in my cans the same thing that's happening front of house? What do I potentially need to do? Because maybe it's something that the front of house person, it has nothing to do with their ability or inability. It actually, like, what your guitar sounds like through the mains is actually like, whoa, I need to hear that. And yes, the looper will be great, but I also want to be like, hey, maybe I need to lighten up a little bit. So there may be some guitar talk that needs to happen about what you're doing that will translate to how you're working with the instrument while you're doing that. So Chris, you're kind of one of the biggest Podgo evangelists. You really kind of, I think, so what about that unit in particular really speaks to you?
I think it gets the important things from what the family has to offer. It kind of gives you like, okay, this is super cool to like suck you in, and it says, you know what, if you really like this, look at everything we got here, So the easy thing, obviously, and everybody knows this, the software is the best. Like, there's nobody that can come close to what Line 6 is doing. I think there's a huge gap there. And for somebody like me, I don't have a lot of time to tweak. It's like I'm always in the go. You need to plug this thing up, or when I do presets, whenever I have to do presets for other companies, it's a total beatdown. Like, just trying to figure out the software and try to, and then you do one preset, you gotta do another preset, you gotta start from scratch, and there's not a lot of copy paste options. All the block stuff you can copy paste for that the Line 6 says is super cool. So, like these guys, you get in with all kinds of different companies, all different kinds of softwares, and we can really see that gap. So the Podgo is something you plug up right away, and you got everything you need right there. The IR option, you'll upload your IRs. I do all my own IRs, so it's you load that up and you get an amp one, and you already got your tone right away. At that point, it's just tweaking. So you save so much time, and you get your sound right away, and it's all this. And there's a new firmware update. I'm going to go home actually in my studio. I just got the stuff, so I can't wait to dig in and see what's new and all that for the Podgo. I know a lot of people wanted that, so it's finally out there. So I'll do some content on that pretty soon. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to that price point, like you can't get anything close to that.
Yeah, it's much easier.
Yeah, it's super easy.